Okay, is this thing on? Yep, looks like it's on to me. Hello, guys. How's everything going? I hope everything's going good. So, this is part 5 of Personal Finance for Canadians for Dummies by Eric Tyson and Tony Martin. So, part 5, chapter 5, just going to continue on with this series. It's a pretty good book so far. This is just common, basic stuff that most people don't have time to get around to. The title of this chapter is dealing with debt or liabilities, like outstanding amounts owing, and credit problems. What I'll do is skip through the chapter titles, go through the chapter titles, show you what's in there. It's a pretty easy book to go by. So in this chapter, it discusses using your savings to reduce debt, getting out of debt. So I'll call debt liabilities or amounts owing. So I'll just call it amounts owing, so most people know what it means. So getting out of your amounts owing when you don't have any savings. The pros and cons of filing for bankruptcy if you need to use that opportunity, and dealing with credit issues. So I'll just go past the titles, the section titles in here. So it's using savings to reduce your liabilities. Then how you gain, so what you can do to gain. Then cash that you may be overlooking. The sections in there is borrowing against cash value in an insurance policy, selling investments held outside of an RRSP, that's a retirement account in Canada, and then borrowing against your home or borrowing from friends and family. So those are some options. So the next section of is titled How to Reduce Your Amount Owing. Then it talks about transferring to low interest rate credit cards if you have that opportunity. Then it talks about a specific type of credit card. Then it talks about to get rid of credit cards. Then it discusses how to use debit cards. So debit card is just the one that carries your basic savings. Then it talks about a bankruptcy strategy, bankruptcy benefits, and it talks about bankruptcy drawbacks if this is an opportunity or strategy that you're using or employing. And then some other sections on that topic as well. Then the next subject topic is ending the spend and amount owing cycle. Then identifying poor habits. Then it discusses using credit cards, how to use it properly. Then it discusses credit card counseling, if that's an issue. Then it discusses credit card mistakes and how to use a credit report, if that's what you need to, if you haven't looked at that already. It talks about other mistakes, and then it goes on to chapter 6. So those are the main sections of chapter 5. So it's this chapter is discussing specifically reducing liabilities, the amount that you have owing, and how you can get past what's outstanding. So I'll just skip past some of the stuff, skip along here. I'll go through the paragraphs in here individually and see if there's anything that really stands out, and anything that's remarkable in here. So first and foremost, you have good debt, good amounts owing, and poor or bad amounts owing. So the good is like stuff that will benefit you later on, like a house. I would call a car good, but this book probably labels it as not so good. But house, education, children, investments, and personal investments, those are labeled as good. And then other stuff like, say, taking a vacation or just buying depreciating assets is labeled as bad, but it's not necessarily bad. If you enjoy it or something that you needed personally, then you can call it good. So let's see if there's some good information in these chapters. So we all know the general trend of reducing the amount that you have owing in any of your accounts. You want to, generally speaking, reduce those amounts. You don't want to keep it outstanding, especially if it's like high interest rates or the cost for those outstanding amounts is burdensome, and it's earmarked to take a big portion of your monthly income. Then you want to reduce it by a meaningful amount. So how you gain? So generally speaking, you want to reduce those amounts owing on your accounts. That way it frees up some cash flow that you can use for other areas of your life, such as investing for the future. That's a big part of how you gain. So let's see if there's anything in these paragraphs that discusses otherwise. So investing, we all know what that is. Being careful, building an emergency cushion, we know what that is. Paying down the credit card debt, the outstanding amount there, yes. Canceling that amount eventually. So, and substituting whatever you're using it for with just regular savings. Money that may be overlooked. So you can always borrow more if you can afford it. So if it's afforded, then you can do that. That's an option, a good option to do. Credit card rates. So the lower the interest rate, the better, because those interest rates are going to determine how much you pay monthly in costs. So you want to keep it as low as possible. Paying down the balance. We all know what that is. If you want to pay down the credit card balance, make it as easy for yourself as possible monthly. If you're not familiar with how a credit card works, you have a grace period. It's usually within the month where you're not paying for the interest on the outstanding amount. I believe it's 20 days. So that's probably specific to your dealer, the bank that you're working with, or the credit union, or the credit dealer that you're working with. So check that out, see what the grace periods are and the specifics are of that account, because that's important. And the interest rates, generally speaking, the lower the better. Yeah, I don't think it can go below 0, but it could be possible, but I haven't seen it at that rate. Usually it's somewhere between 5 and 15%. And keep in mind that every country has a certain rate set for what a bank is allowed to issue. So you can't go past that amount. So the government sets a rate that's not allowed, right? Legally not allowed. And the bank can't issue a credit account past that interest rate amount, because it'd be revoked. It's not allowed legally. So keep that in mind. It's specific percentage rate. I'm not sure what the rate is. It's definitely under 30%. I'm pretty sure it's probably closer to like 20%. Then so getting rid of the credit cards if you don't need it. It's a good way to build up your credit personally, but getting rid of it overall at some point in time, so it's over, it's a good idea. Then the bankruptcy strategies, probably won't spend too much time on there, because we know what a bankruptcy is. You have to file that through the government and explain expound on why you need to use that strategy as depending on your financial circumstances or financial situation. You need to make a case as to why you need to use that strategy. So it talks about the pros and cons of that strategy, who would use it, who wouldn't. But unfortunately, some people do meet circumstances and criteria where they need to take that avenue. So that's a path you can always pursue if that's your need. So let's skip past some of that area, those topics, those subjects. It talks about breaking bad behaviors, bad habit patterns with spending so that you can build up your savings, and some questions to visit. Yeah, and using one strategy specifically in here is using your savings account prior to using any credit. So using your savings account prior to any credit is a good idea. That because credit charges interest, so that's obviously a good way to save some cash. Then dealing with credit mistakes, so get your credit report and see what's on there. Make sure there are no accounts that somehow has been connected to you and to your identity. That's an issue in some areas of the world. So in the world, you have identity mistakes where a person's information is wrongly added to your report. So you want to make sure that doesn't happen. Yeah, identify those areas quickly and get it cleared up. Yeah, and that's just reducing the amounts that are owing on any account that you have. So you want to do that bright and early, and follow that pattern of saving more. I don't know if you can see it, but saving more and spending less. Yeah, that's just the general pattern that you want to follow. It's a good way to go about doing things and building up your personal finances over time. I hope you enjoyed that one. That's part 5, and then I'm going to go on to part 6 and continue on with the rest of the book. It's pretty good so far. Feel free to comment and let me know what you think of it. Till next time, have a good one.